Good morning, Read 180 students. Today is Thursday, December 3rd, and we are working on today's workshop, lesson 19. Now, you'll notice from today's agenda, a couple of things that I want you to be doing now, especially now till midterm, is checking your student view for missing assignments. Today for your class, you'll need your iPad that's charged, ready to go, a pencil, a binder, and your real book. If you haven't already done your daily check-in, please do that for today. And then also working on week 10 bell work, day 4. We'll work on the workshop assignment together here in a little bit. And then just a reminder, 20 minutes of software each day. By the end of this week, you'll have 100 minutes logged. And then you have your independent reading where you'll be doing your 20 minutes, and I'll be collecting your reading log after tomorrow on Friday. So again, we're going to continue working with your learning target of being able to evaluate a thesis statement, ideas, details, and conclusion in an informative essay. And just a reminder that I encourage you to join our Zooms Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday. Remember, Wednesdays is when I push out an assignment, so there is no group Zoom. And midterm is December 9th, and so all late work needs to be submitted no later than the 9th in order to get credit so far. So be aware of that. Now, one of the things that it's kind of fun to do is we have 15 days until we have our winter break. So I thought it'd be fun and I can share these with you. I'm not really sure. Hopefully the links work, but today we are at day 15. Or where there's 15 days to go till we have a little bit of a break for our holiday. And so today the activity is how to draw a cat wearing a sweater. And you'll notice we have the Christmas colors. If you click the link, you should be able to, it'll take you to a YouTube video and it'll walk you through how you can learn how to draw a cat wearing a sweater. Now, if you're like me, I don't have many artistic skills. It was easy to follow and it was kind of fun. I can't do it by myself, but I sure was able to go through the videos. So it's just something fun to try. Tomorrow we'll have a new activity, so watch for that. All right, so today we are working on lesson 19. You'll need to open up your real book to pages 224 and 225. All right, so if you notice today, again, we're going to be looking at a model essay for this unit, which is going to focus on the stories we've read up to this point. This is called an informative essay, and the purpose of an informative essay is obviously to inform the reader of facts, details, and in this case, quotations from the readings that we completed. So today we're going to become experts on how people reacted to President Lincoln's assassination. We're going to use our knowledge to analyze this information in an informative essay. We'll need to identify and evaluate the most importance of an informative essay, which includes a thesis statement, ideas, details, and a conclusion. And you'll notice what we're going to do is we're going to change this up a little bit. If you looked forward into your real book, you'll notice that the next task would have been for us to do, or to actually have you write your own informative essay. We are going to just analyze this model essay for now, and we're not going to do the informative essay. Hopefully we can do it maybe when we get back in person after Christmas, but right now we're just going to analyze and what the essay would look like, and if you were to write one, this is what yours would look like and the parts that are required. So if you notice on the page, there's a writing prompt. And if you look at it in the green box, it says, identify 2 people in this workshop who reacted strongly to President Lincoln's assassination. Write an essay describing their reactions. And if you notice that in this essay, it is written by Erin Adams. So based on this prompt, what topic is Erin Adams going to examine in her essay? And if you looked at it and had to maybe reread it again, we just know that the purpose of her writing is to see how 2 different people reacted to President Lincoln's assassination. And again, if we look at really looking at examining how one person answered this prompt, yours would look similar to it. It would not look exactly the same, but just keep in mind if you were writing your own informative essay, you would follow the same format. You might have some different information. You might use some different people to compare, but you would still be looking at identifying how two people reacted to the assassination of President Lincoln. So we're going to read the essay together, and then after you read, be ready to identify those two important ideas that she discussed in her essay. Loyalty to a Leader by Aaron Adams. Abraham Lincoln was assassinated on April 14, 1865, just 5 days after Union troops defeated the Confederacy in the Civil War. Americans reacted to his death in many different ways. Two men who reacted to Lincoln's assassination with determination were Henry Rathbone and Edwin Stanton. Major Henry Rathbone was determined not to let Booth flee Ford's Theater. Chasing Lincoln's Killer describes how Rathbone attempted to stop Booth. First, Rathbone lunged for Booth, grabbing him by the coat. The author also states that Rathbone refused to stop fighting Booth even after Booth injured him. Finally, Rathbone shouted to the audience to stop that man as the assassin fled the theater. Although Rathbone worked hard to stop Booth, Booth was still able to escape. Secretary of War Edwin Stanton was also determined to capture Booth. According to Tracking an Assassin, Stanton questioned witnesses from the theater who identified John Wilkes Booth as Lincoln's assassin. Additionally, Stanton ordered police officers and soldiers to guard bridges and search trains for the fugitive. Stanton's efforts helped capture Booth and his accomplices. In conclusion, both Henry Rathbone and Edwin Stanton reacted to Lincoln's assassination with determination. Both men worked tirelessly to capture John Wilkes Booth. Their actions show the respect and admiration they must have had for their president. Now, on this next slide, you're going to work between both pages. I've tried to put both pages on one slide together, but we're going to be going back and forth as we do some analyzing, marking and evaluating text elements. Now, remember we use the TIDE process for writing at this point. And TIDE, remember, stands for 4 pieces that is required in your essay. T stands for thesis statement, I stands for idea, D stands for details, and E stands for ending. So what we're going to do is we're going to take each section, TIDE, and we're going to move over to our essay, and we're going to be marking, and we're going to be making some analysis about each of those sections. So if you look, the first thing is the T. So a thesis statement. The thesis statement identifies the topic of the essay. It previews what the writer will discuss. And you'll notice off to the side, if you look, I have marked it with a T, that first paragraph, because it says clearly, here's the thesis statement. 2 men who reacted to Lincoln's assassination with determination were Henry Rathbone and Edwin Stanton. Okay. Now, after you've done that, I'm going to ask you to answer this question. This thesis statement is effective because it what? It identifies something. What does it identify? Or is it describing something, or it introduces something? So when I reread that, it clearly talks about 2 men and their reaction to President Lincoln's assassination and how they did it with determination. So the thesis statement is effective because it what? I want you to use your own words and complete that sentence. The next section is idea. In an idea, each supporting paragraph includes a topic sentence that states the paragraph's central idea. These central ideas provide more information about the thesis statement. Now you'll notice that there are 2 paragraphs that follow the thesis statement. And so you're going to have a central idea for each paragraph. Remember, when you start a new idea, you start a new paragraph. So on your book, I want you to put the letter I next to this sentence. Major Rathbone was determined not to let Booth flee Ford's Theater. And then in the 3rd paragraph, the central idea starts right at the beginning. Secretary of War Edwin Stanton was also determined to capture Booth. Now, the important ideas give more information about what? So I want you to use your own words and complete that sentence. And again, we know that it gives more information about the thesis statement that we just read about the 2 men. So the important ideas give more information about either how something is done, why something was done, or who did it. Now the 3rd part is details. Now detail sentences develop the central ideas with facts, details, and quotations from the text that it's taken from. So I want you to look back on page 224, and each of these paragraphs has at least 2 details that follow the central idea. So I want you to look where you can see, find the word first. Now that's an indicator that they're going to introduce a detail. So right for that sentence, first Rathbone lunged for Booth, grabbing him by the coat. I want you to put the letter D next to that sentence. And then you'll see another sentence that has that transition word finally. That also indicates that there's a detail following it. So finally, Rathbone shouted to the audience to stop that man as the assassin fled the theater. So you'll put a detail by there. And then if you look at the next paragraph, according to Tracking an Assassin, Stanton questioned witnesses from the theater who identified John Wilkes Booth as Lincoln's assassin. I want you to put a letter D next to that sentence. And then additionally, Stanton ordered police officers and soldiers to guard bridges and search trains for the fugitive. I want you to put a letter D for another detail on that sentence. And then the last section we have is ending. An essay ends with a conclusion. The conclusion restates the thesis and central ideas of the essay. It ends with an interesting thought. And I want you to put the letter E for in conclusion. Oops, I have to back up, sorry. Under details, I want you to finish this sentence. The detail sentences are important because they what? What do they provide, or what do they expand on? I want you to go ahead and finish that sentence. Now we'll go back to ending. So you'll see in conclusion, both Henry Rathbone and Edwin Stanton reacted to Lincoln's assassination with determination. Both men worked tirelessly to capture John Wilkes Booth. The actions show the respect and admiration they must have had for their president. Now I want you to use your own words to answer this prompt. This conclusion is effective because it what? All right, I'm going to keep moving. You can stop this at any point, but I just want to share this next slide. You might want to pause the recording. If you are stuck on any of these pieces, answering the questions, I do have a guide here that you can go back and get some ideas from. Now, the last thing I want to mention is that we're getting close to midterm on the 9th. Here is your reminder for your tasks for today. Again, it's all bulleted. The 20-minute software is required. The end of the week, you should have 100 minutes logged, and then reading for 20 minutes from your independent reading book, and then your reading log will be submitted on Friday. Now, again, if you did not join Zoom, I would highly encourage you to join the Zoom at 8:30 in the morning, because this probably would have been a little bit easier to do this all together, and I could have answered any questions. But if you do have some questions about this activity, please reach out to me via email, or you can call me at 681-8813 extension 2133. All right, have a good day.